Hey everyone, it's Chantel, and I have some really important stuff to go over with you guys. And I think these are things that a lot of us are running into. Um, I'm going to start off for one thing. There is a reason why you need to be careful by following the big groups and big social media, just kind of things like that that are pushing a lot of health and nutrition. So I see some different things that are happening there. And then I'm also going to talk to you about some personal struggles of my own being on keto. Things that are hard that you're going to have to figure out. And I think a lot of us go through these. So I'm going to do a talk on that today. So please try and keep with this whole video. I think it's really going to give you a lot of necessary information. Now, normally, if I'm in the middle of a struggle or dealing with things, I will not share it without a victory. But today, I think I need to share it, but I do have some victory over this area. But it's important enough that I think it needs to be brought up. It's not that I don't want to share things with you, but if I'm feeling frustrated, it's not making you guys feel any better or helping you. So I tend to keep those things to myself. Not that I won't share, but until I figured out how to fix it, why would I share that with you? It's not doing any good. It's like two girlfriends complaining about their life and they leave. Nothing got better. They didn't accomplish anything. They just both now feel really crappy. And I'm not going to treat my YouTube channel that way. This is not what that is for, is to bicker and rant. So, that being said, I want to get into this pretty heavily. I'm going to start out with the first thing I brought up. I have a friend, a coworker, and it is obvious that I've lost weight. It is obvious that I am on a keto diet. I keep it very private. I don't share a lot of what's going on unless people ask me specifically. I think it's better that way because I don't want to pollute their mind with too many ideas or things, or me even talking about keto, that the mainstream things out there, a lot of people think it means that I'm just eating butter and bacon all day, which is far from the truth, and we all know that if you're on a good ketogenic diet. If you're just looking into it, no, I do not sit and eat bacon and butter every day. Actually, I think bacon is processed a lot more, so I do like to enjoy it. It's a very lovely treat of mine, but it's not something I'm eating every single day. It's like my weekly treat. Instead of going out and getting pizza or something, I'm going to have bacon instead. So it's a trade-off item is what I would call it. Now, I was sitting down with this individual and they're like, I really need to get some recipes from you. I really struggle with all this food and knowing what to eat and on-the-go snacks. And I just rattled off a couple, so this will be helpful for you guys too. If you know me, it's hard-boiled eggs are my favorite. I've gotten a little tired of that. I do eat protein bars. I do eat, I have like these little cheese and meat roll-ups. I'll eat maybe one a week of those. It's about 100 calories, I think. Between 1 and 2, but I think it's 100. Don't quote me on that. Maybe 150-ish. I will do peanut butter. I will eat, I just find like grilled chicken, things like that, stuff that's easy. And she stopped me. She's like, but wait a minute. When you're on the go, I'm like, I always have like frozen chicken or rotisserie chicken, something like that. She's like, but on keto, you're not really supposed to be eating chicken. You should be eating beef. I said, well, yeah, I do that when I have time and I plan it and cook it and I eat a lot of beef. But if I'm on the go, I've got chicken. She's like, but why would you do that? Like, you can't have that though, right? And see, here's the problem, guys, is if you get so mainstream or you're following people who do this for a living, or there's some people that are not telling you what they're actually eating. They're like, oh, you have to eat beef and that's all you can eat. No, you can have chicken too. And guess what? You can have lean chicken as well. You know what you do to lean chicken because it's lower calorie? You add your own fat to it. You can put olive oil on chicken. I promise. It's okay. So it doesn't matter if you're buying lean grilled chicken or if you're on the go and it stops you from eating Wendy's or buying pizza. I think grilled chicken is going to be just fine for one meal. So, learn to do things. Or, she's like, oh, well, you're not really supposed to do processed. Yeah, but I'm at work and a protein shake has lots of protein in it. I can add my own fat to it. And I know I'm not going over calorie. It's something a little bit, if I want a little bit of chocolate or whatever, I'm feeling satisfied. I'm eating these things. It's keeping me away from other foods and I'm supplementing myself. In an ideal world, if we could choose keto, yeah, if your budget allows it, beef every day. If your budget allows it, then have all the perfect things on hand. But if you're trying to make do and you're trying to buy things that work in your budget, just go with it. Just figure it out. See, the reason I don't follow those things is I don't want everybody telling me how to think. I want to figure it out for myself. If I ate chicken one day and I'm like, well, that didn't work. I was starving and I ate 8 ounces of it, or, retaining fluid because it was too high in sodium or something. I'm going to learn from that experience and I'm not going to do it again. Or I'm going to naturally find that I feel better eating beef than I do chicken and gradually push myself over this way. If you're following social media or they've been doing it, maybe they've been going keto for 2-3 years and they're realizing bullet coffee doesn't work for them anymore and they switch over and like, oh, don't drink bullet coffee. And you're thinking like, well, what? That's the one reason, that's the one thing I love about this diet. Then don't change it for you because they're judging this by their body. You have to judge by your body. And that's how I've made all my decisions is I follow little channels, get little ideas, but everything I do is I've come up with it myself. I took the basis, I understood what keto meant, and I'm learning to make it work for me. Yes, there is trial and error in this. I'm doing some things that work and some things that don't, and I'm trying to find that even balance for me. And if you're following a lot of those big social media, those people, a lot of times, they eat carbs or different things. They're not sharing that with you. And I'm not saying all people are that way. But if you think about it and you're making a lot of money by going keto and then all of a sudden you switch to carbs, you could hurt yourself very badly. So some people don't want to share that. Or they know if they're smart too, they also know that people aren't ready to know that information, that they've added some carbs back, healthy carbs, but they've added some things up, maybe even more starchy vegetables again. Maybe they're eating carrots. And if you want to eat carrots, I don't care if you eat carrots. I think that's okay on keto. I wouldn't overdo it. I wouldn't do them every day. I'd treat them as a limited option. But if you love carrots, I don't think there's any reason why you couldn't have them. But if you're following the mainstream, there's things that they're doing that they're trying to keep towards new people. You don't want to overwhelm a new person who's just in keto, so you don't want to share everything with them. What you're seeing here, it's raw. It's what we're doing on a daily basis. And people get all mad, oh, that's not keto. Yeah, it is keto. And some of these people are doing it too. After you've been on keto for a long time, some people can add carbs back in because you fix your body. And it's not that all carbs are terrible for you. It's the way you're doing it and the way your body is handling them. And it takes time. So following these big people and everything they're doing, or the money, the things they can afford also is different. So be careful. Take their advice, listen to things, but just be careful. And then I want to tell you, so sorry, I'm really itchy for some reason. I think I'm just dry and I sound that way. The other thing I want you guys to be aware of and understand, and I'm going to use the example in my life because this week was it for me. I'm keto, right? Well, this week, and I mean, I was stressed out. I don't need to tell you guys all what it was, but I was stressed at home. I had a lot of home situations I was dealing with. I had stuff at work I was dealing with. I had some personal health come up, and I got a really big surprise from a doctor about some stuff I have to do this week I wasn't planning on. So first of all, this last week, I was so stressed out about these things. I put on weight just from fluid, and then I felt upset about the fluid. So then I don't know if I overate or whatever, but my body tended to go up a couple pounds of weight, and then I started really freaking out because I'm like, oh gosh, I'm up 5 pounds in just a couple days. What's going on? And then because of that, I got stressed out, and that I tried to restrict myself a little bit, and it blew up on me. And then because I got stressed out, my stomach started having issues, and so my bowel movements and stuff got all dysregulated. And then, not that I was eating like high carbs or going out and binge eating or doing weird stuff. But even on keto, I think I had more like fats, and I ate, and I also started my period. It was just a fantastic week, let me tell you. And then I think it was some nut butters I did a little heavier on, and a little heavier on the chocolate. And by that, I am up 10 pounds in 1 week. I'm like, wow. And it wasn't even crazy. Like, I'd eat a couple bites more of chocolate. I had a little bit more carb than normal, a little bit more peanut butter. I had an extra protein shake. And usually those things don't affect me. But I did put on that weight. And I was about to get freaked out about it this week. And when I realized, I'm like, no, if you're sick and fluid, most of that, I probably put on 2 pounds of actual weight, maybe 3, because in a week, you can't really put on 10 pounds. So if you are putting on a lot of weight really quickly, it's fluid, but your body will retain that if you don't change what you're doing. So what I now know is I know exactly how to get that weight off. I'm not thrilled that I'm up that much weight, 10 pounds in 1 week, but also a lot of it's fluid, so it's going to come right back off as long as you're careful. So I'm going to drink water. I'm going to eat all the things I need to do. My fridge is already prepped this week for all the things I have and need. I've got my vegetables. I've got my meat in there. And I know what I'm going to do. And so I don't need to be stressed out and feeling that way about food because I know exactly what to do. And also, I don't know about you, but even if I'm eating within my carb range, I mean my calorie range, but I'm having higher carbs, I gain weight. It's just my body. It's not fat, so my clothes fit the same. I'm down the same weight. I still look fairly small, but I will go up in fluid, and that's how I packed on 40 pounds of fluid is per week I can gain up to 10 pounds in fluid, and I will just keep racking it up. And it will not go back down. It doesn't level out for me. And that's not even overeating or eating large amounts of food. That's just what my body does. So know your body, know what's going on, and once you get this figured out, you know what to do to keep yourself on track. So instead of stressing out or eating worse, I now know what to do to just clean up my diet a little bit again, get extra prep this week. I'm not stressed. My financial situation is looking a little bit better now. There's just a lot that happened, but that's going to happen to you guys. You're going to have a week where you kind of feel like you fell off everything or nothing went right. But now it's time to reset. You know what to do to lose weight. I know everything I need to do to lose weight. I just have to do it. So don't stress out. Don't make it worse. Just know the things that are stopping you from doing what you need to do. Drink lots and lots of water. Figure out how to de-stress yourself. All these things that were happening to me, none of them I was in control of. So I did what I could to get it in control, and I said I just need to get through this week. And I did. I let the rest go, and now I'm ready to get back on and move on with my happy, normal life. But you're going to get stressed out here and there. You're going to have a couple hiccups. But the thing is to keep moving, to keep going, and just to know it's okay, that I'm not down on myself. I'm not mad. You know, that 10 pounds, it's unfortunate. I don't like that. I was supposed to lose 10 pounds, not gain it. But I also know in my own mind now what that is, and I know exactly what I need to do to attack it. So I'm sorry this was a long video, guys, but it needed to be said, and I think a lot of people who are starting keto or beginners, you need to hear this. Like and subscribe. Comment below if this video helped you, or if you've been through any of these struggles yourself. We really need to help each other out on this, guys. All right, take care.